the epicenter of the catastrophe. You open your eyes. The air smells of burnt paper and absolute despair. Your office is trashed. A cardboard box with your personal belongings sits lonely on the floor. You just wanted to tell the truth about the corporation's toxic emissions to save people. But the system worked faster and more ruthlessly. Your accounts are blocked. Your reputation is destroyed. The press is already calling you crazy. There is only one document left on your empty desk, an order of termination, and a lifetime non-disclosure agreement. At the very bottom, under the soulless legal jargon, is an elegant, firm signature in red ink. You are a pawn, wiped off the board with a single stroke of a pen. Your career and life are over. But what if we rewind time? What if the person who signs that red ink and breaks your life is you? The path is chosen. Early morning, corporate open plan office. Your first day at work smells of fresh coffee and expensive carpeting. You sit at a tiny desk in a massive glass anthill. Around you, hundreds of people in perfect suits type rapidly on their keyboards. You start the morning by making 50 copies of a presentation no one will ever open. Then a coffee run for almond lattes for the senior managers. All day you format other people's PowerPoint slides and silently sort incoming mail. You are a ghost. No one remembers your name. People look right through you, discussing their bonuses. Closer to lunch, you notice something strange. A tiny snail in a fedora hat is slowly crawling across the glass of the copier. You blink and it disappears. From the outside, an intern seems like a powerless slave. But in reality, being invisible, you are the first to notice what everyone else has long gotten used to. The workday is coming to an end. You carry the final reports into the senior manager's office and accidentally hear him on the phone ordering to hide the toxicity data of a new product. For you, this is a shock, a true anomaly. But you look back at your colleagues in the open space. They calmly drink their lattes and pretend nothing is happening. If you raise the alarm, you report the violation to management and become an outcast. If you stay silent, you sit at your desk and pretend it's just part of the job. What will you choose? Pause the video and write in the comments. Raise the alarm or stay silent. A man in a beige coat slowly steps out of the shadows by the water cooler. His gray hair and beard contrast sharply with the perfect suits of the clerks. Detective Jimmy bends down and pulls a crumpled draft of that very toxicology report from the trash can. His partner, a snail in a fedora, sits on his palm, carefully studying the crumpled paper. Your brain is sounding the alarm, Jimmy says calmly, smoothing out the document. But social pressure makes you doubt yourself. You are the intern, the lowest level. Jimmy reads the dry lines of the report. Social proof from your colleagues forces your amygdala to shut off the fear and normalize the anomaly. This is the boiling frog syndrome. Deep night. Empty office. You are the junior analyst. 3 years have passed. Your salary has grown, and so have the bags under your eyes. Your typical day starts at 10 a.m. and ends past midnight. You stare at the monitor for hours, cleaning up raw data arrays. You write complex SQL queries and compile endless Excel spreadsheets just so the VPs can look at pretty charts during lunch. Your eyes burn from the blue light. Your stomach cramps from cheap energy drinks. On the edge of an empty Red Bull can, you notice that same snail in a mini coat, but you write it off as severe exhaustion. Tonight, the company's factory dumped chemicals into the river. Your boss asks you to tweak the red zones on the graph so the pollution looks like a statistical error. If you keep the real numbers, you risk your career and your bonus. If you change the data, you comfort yourself that the boss bears the responsibility. Choose, keep the numbers, or change the data. Jimmy steps out from behind a blinking server He picks up a forgotten tablet from a desk, displaying the pollution graphs. The snail slowly crawls along the edge of the glowing glass, right over the red zones. This little lie will become your new normal, the detective says quietly, looking at the screen. Cognitive dissonance. Your brain knows it's a crime, but it starts defending itself. The prefrontal cortex generates excuses to relieve the pain. It's just numbers. I didn't kill anyone. Noon. Press conference room. You are the PR manager. Your workday starts at 6 a.m. with paranoid monitoring of social media. You search for any negative brand mentions on Twitter and news feeds. By noon, you manage to draft 3 sterile, lawyer-approved press releases. You hush up a couple of minor scandals in the press. Your suit is perfect. Your jaw aches from constantly faking empathy in front of journalists you despise. Adjusting your tie in the restroom mirror, you see the snail sitting on the sink in the reflection. Another silent harbinger of doom. At noon, a real scandal erupts. The hidden analyst data has leaked. Your task is to step up to the microphones and, with an absolutely calm face, declare that everything is under control. If you tell the truth, stocks will crash, the company will go bankrupt. Thousands of ordinary workers will lose their jobs and pensions. If you read the prepared text, the corporation will continue poisoning people, and you become an accomplice to the crime, hiding the truth. It's a trap. There is no good choice anymore, right? Read the text or tell the truth. By the way, you've made it to the middle of the corporate ladder. Most break earlier. If you are one of those who stay to the end, subscribe to the Detective Jimmy and Snail channel and hit the like button. The YouTube algorithm, just like the board of directors, only rewards those who don't stay silent. Jimmy stands backstage. He picks up a thick card with press talking points from the floor. The snail sits thoughtfully on the card, right on the words, "No threat." There is no more black and white in the system, Jimmy whispers, studying the card. Double think. You learn to sincerely believe your own lies. Your brain divides memory into isolated blocks, allowing you to truly believe at the press conference that you are the savior of jobs, forgetting about the victims. Evening, factory in the industrial zone. You are the negotiator. Your routine is constant flights to industrial dead zones in rented black SUVs. All day on the road, you study the psychological profiles of union leaders. You look for their pain points, unpaid mortgages, sick relatives, hidden debts. You practice your "I understand you, but the company cannot make concessions" face in the tinted glass of the car. On the dashboard of your SUV, the snail in a hat freezes for a second, as if evaluating your cold-bloodedness. In the evening, you arrive at the factory. The branch workers have gone on strike due to unbearable working conditions. Your task is not to help them. Your task is to break their leader. Security has already carefully gathered dirty blackmail material on him. If you use the blackmail, you force the leader to surrender and stop the riot. If you hide the blackmail, you try to negotiate real concessions from management for the workers. Choose. Use blackmail or hide it. Jimmy is waiting for you in the empty meeting room. A forgotten yellow security folder with the blackmail lies on the table. The detective opens it. The snail pauses on a photo of the broken labor leader. You shut off your empathy to survive, the detective states, turning the pages. Moral disengagement. Decreased activity in the medial prefrontal cortex. These people are no longer alive to you. They have become dry business obstacles in a folder. Deep night, closed office. You are the crisis manager, the fixer. Your life no longer belongs to you. You sleep with an encrypted phone under your pillow. Your day is controlled chaos. Secret video calls, massive wire transfers to offshore accounts to buy silence, hiring private detectives to smear competitors. Your pulse is always at the limit. You live on blood pressure pills. On the screen of your encrypted smartphone, a digital trail of a crawling snail appears for a fraction of a second. Right before the main call rings, you are at the top of the food chain. You are the surgeons who cut off a rotting limb to save the whole corporate organism. Deep in the night, it is revealed. One of the top managers is ready to leak all the black bookkeeping to the authorities. You have the power to completely erase this person. If you launch the destruction machine, you save the company at any cost. If you let the informant speak, you watch the corporate empire crumble. Right? Destroy or let speak. Jimmy sits in a leather chair across from you. In his hands is a drafted termination order, the very one from the prologue. You no longer solve problems. You create anomalies. Jimmy sighs heavily. Looking at the empty signature line, Machiavellianism. At the top of the hierarchy, the traits of the dark triad activate. The tendency to destroy people becomes a standard working tool. The end has completely justified the means. Early morning. Board of Directors, Penthouse. You are a board member, master of the city. Your morning begins with a private breakfast at the golf club with politicians. Throughout the day, you see no factories, no workers. You only see quarterly profits, EBITDA, and stock growth charts. You approve budget cuts on safety with a casual nod of your head over lunch at a Michelin-starred restaurant. People have completely ceased to exist for you, turning into dry profit margin percentages. On the polished mahogany of the boardroom table, the snail leaves a barely visible wet trail. The entire metropolis is in the palm of your hand outside your panoramic window. You have built a system that runs on absolute cynicism. Your assistant places a report on another ecological disaster at your facility on the desk. In order to destroy the informant, that very document, the mirror clue has closed the loop. You take a pen with red ink and sign your elegant signature, grinding someone's life into dust. You look at the damage numbers and just take a sip of coffee. For you, this is no longer a tragedy, it's just a business expense. If you sacrifice your bonuses, you direct your millions to fix the system and clean up. If you do nothing, you just drink your coffee because the madness has become the absolute norm. The final crossroads. Sacrifice bonuses or do nothing. Jimmy stands next to you by the huge window. He carefully picks up the document with the fresh red ink from the desk. The snail slowly crawls onto his sleeve. Villains don't wear black capes. They drink good coffee, he notes philosophically, looking at your signature. The banality of evil. The system itself is the main monster. Monstrous acts have become an everyday bureaucratic routine and no longer evoke emotions. You destroy lives dryly and without hatred, simply because it is efficient. Jimmy's archive. Jimmy opens the heavy steel door labeled archive. Inside, on the shelves, all the documents he found today are neatly arranged. The crumpled report, the talking points cards, the blackmail folders, the intern's case, boiling frog syndrome. The snail examines a coffee cup. The brain adapts to a toxic environment if the changes occur gradually. The amygdala stops responding to the threat. Google, boiling frog syndrome, psychology. The analyst's case, cognitive dissonance. The snail crawls along a red graph, justifying immoral acts to preserve self-esteem. The prefrontal cortex invents excuses to relieve the pain. Google, cognitive dissonance in workplace. The PR manager's case, doublethink. The snail on the microphone stand. The ability to sincerely believe in two mutually exclusive convictions simultaneously, dividing memory into isolated blocks. Google doublethink, psychological mechanisms. The negotiator's case. Moral disengagement. The snail on the door handle. A defense mechanism in which empathy is turned off. People turn into abstract business tasks. Google. Moral disengagement theory. The fixer's case. Machiavellianism. The snail on the thick dossier. The tendency to manipulate people to achieve personal goals. Activation of dark triad traits at the top of the hierarchy. Google. Dark triad Machiavellianism. Corporate. The board member's case. Banality of evil. The snail on the penthouse glass. A situation where monstrous acts become an everyday bureaucratic routine and no longer evoke emotions. Google Banality of Evil Corporate. Hannah Arendt.
Author's commentary. Hello, friends. This is the creator of the Detective Jimmy and Snail channel. By creating this scenario, I wanted to show the most terrifying truth of the modern world. The main antagonist in our lives is rarely a cartoonish villain. The main enemy is the soulless system itself, where evil is committed dryly, according to regulations, and for profit. This is what we call the banality of evil. We sit in jobs we hate for years, endure toxic management, and burn out completely. Our psyche breaks, but we just drink our morning coffee and go to the office, considering it the norm. We normalize the absurd. Every one of us was once that intern who saw the truth. But I am terrified of waking up one day as that person by the panoramic window, who absolutely does not care about the pain of others. It is very important for me to know, at what level would you have stopped? Where is the line after which you would say, enough, I quit? The link to our community is in the pinned comment. Head over there. I've already prepared an interactive poll. Let's see how many idealists are among us, and how many pragmatic fixers. This was the Detective Jimmy and Snail channel. Until next time.